on lighting. We are going to talk today about lighting and how it affects your pictures and why we even think it's important for photography. So, how does lighting affect your pictures? What do you think, guys? Have been talking about lighting and exposure a lot, so I would love to know. Go ahead and put your guesses in the classroom before I move on. I will give you a moment. Or in the chat, depending on where you're watching this at. So golden hour is what we're going to cover first. Golden hour is 1 to 2 hours before sunset or 1 to 2 hours before sunrise. It's when the sun is almost even with the horizon and it casts a beautiful golden glow over the earth. This is my favorite time to take family photos. As you can see, there's a golden glow around this little girl's head and around her legs and her dress, and then on the grass even you can see it, and it even gets brighter back towards the back of the picture. And so that is the backlight. That's a backlight is the next thing I'm saying, but that's the golden glow or golden hour coming through. It's really a great time to get pictures. Backlight is when the light is behind the subject, and you see that here. Here is another picture where you have the golden glow behind them, and this is, a zoom out of the one that you saw before. So you can tell that it's bright and it's pretty, and that makes everything look beautiful in the foreground. Side light is about 3 hours before sunset, and it shows edges well. Do you see the shadows? You can see that the shadow is on one of the mom's arms and the other one is not in the shadow. It's more in the sun. You know it's side light when half the body is more in the shade versus not being in the shade. It is not my favorite for family sessions, but it's good if you want the harsh light. It does create a little bit of a harsh effect, and sometimes that looks kind of cool in pictures, depending on what you're going for. Then you have around noontime when you have sometimes a bright sun and shadows going on. This can sometimes be too bright. You can notice in this picture she's squinting. That's similar to how it is. If I don't know if this happened to you, but when I was younger, my mom would say, "Let me get a picture of you guys," and you're with your friends or your cousins or something. And so everybody would line up, and then we'd all be squinting because she lines you up where the sun is blasted in your eyes and making you blind. So as you can tell, it's not necessarily the best time to get good pictures if you are wanting to look into the camera. You can play with this kind of light and do different effects or different stylized photos, as you see in this image here. But it's definitely not where you're trying to get a good picture of somebody's face. What can you do if you have bright sunlight and you're not sure how to take a picture of someone in that? Well, the first thing you can do is find shade. That's an obvious thing. Now, you have to be able to have room, or you have to have shade in order to do that. You have to have trees or a shelter or something that people can be underneath, and sometimes there's not enough trees around. And so if you don't have shade, you can turn your subject around so that the bright light is behind his head or her head, and it becomes more of a backlight shining through. You can even dip down as a photographer and get lower so that way the light is blocked by the subject's head. You can also step inside a door frame and have the subject look out towards the light. Here's some examples of sunset and, the sun setting and the light rays playing with the subject in the picture. And you can see different effects that can create. You can also create a silhouette. And here the sun is actually higher in the sky, and you have their shadows on the ground, and you can see them there, which looks kind of cool. So blue light, I don't know if you've heard of this one. I know nowadays everybody's talking about the blue light that comes from our electronics. This is a different kind of blue light. This is the light that we see outside before sunrise or after sunset. So the following images I took just minutes from each other, and you can see that here. This image was right before this wedding took place at the ocean at sunrise, and it's beautiful, and you can see that the colors are so different just within a few minutes of each other. Same thing here. We were going for a walk with these kiddos and they were taking pictures, and then just a couple minutes later you have this dark blue light, and the whole tone of the picture is different. It goes from golden to blue. So just remember, if you're taking a picture after sunset or before sunrise, you're going to have to increase your exposure a little bit or increase your ISO. And remember, golden hour is amazing. To practice this, this is optional. You can go get an item from your kitchen, take it outside or set it by a window and take a picture of it. And then tell me, or see if you can tell what kind of light that's on it. Is it bright light from the top? Is it side light? Is it golden hour light? Blue light? All the things.